So we're going to start with Effleurage. Effleurage is your basic movement that starts and finishes all areas of the body. You apply your oil with Effleurage. So I'm using a plain cold pressed grapeseed to lubricate the back. The back is the key to relaxation. So if you don't do a good back massage, your client's not going to relax very well into your treatment. So I would say at least 15-20 minutes for a good back massage. So Effleurage is what you're going to apply the oil with. Nice continuous movements. And we need to make sure that we have complete coverage of the back. So I'm going to lubricate the sides of the body as well as up and around the shoulders. So Effleurage is done with the complete flat of the hand. Thumbs tucked in, fingers tight together. So we're going to Effleurage up either side of the spine, nice and slowly to start with, keeping the whole hand in contact, going around the shoulders and lightly down the side. So we're going to put a bit of pressure on the way up, because the pressure always goes towards the heart. And we're going to keep that pressure, the aim is to keep it consistent, so that from the back of the body on the lower part of the back, it's the same pressure all the way up, all the way over the top of the shoulders, and then lightly coming down the sides. So the whole idea of Effleurage is to mould to the contours of the body. So you don't want your hands and fingers too tense and too stiff. You want a nice relaxed hand, relaxed fingers, going all the way up, round the shoulders and lightly back. It's quite easy when you first start to do Effleurage to cut corners and not quite come as far up the back as you need to. So we need to go right over the top, touch the clavicle the other side, down the side, and then in. So we're treating the back as though it's a rectangle. So we're not cutting off the hip either. So we're going to come down the side and in. If I was going to do it badly, I'd come up, come out here, maybe have a wiggle and come down the middle. That's not really covering the whole area, neither would that be. So what we want is to come up the middle, around the top, right over the top of the shoulders, down the sides, and then in. That's good coverage of the back. Moulding the fingertips to the top of the shoulders. As we come up, we're going to press the fingertips down a little bit because we want a ripple. Can you see that ripple running in front of my fingers? That's a good Effleurage. It means I'll have consistent pressure from the very beginning. So you want your ripple to start at the bottom of the back and go all the way up and around the shoulders. So this is a good opportunity for the client to get used to your touch, for you to practice putting pressure up towards the heart and then lightly back. This is also going to be a linking move from one area of the body to another, and it's very good for lymph drainage. So draining the toxins and waste products to the lymph nodes. And Effleurage is a really good psychologically relaxing move. It makes the client have a good sense of well-being and relaxation. So the more relaxation you want to induce, the more Effleurage you're going to do. We might also then take it a little deeper and do what we call a reinforced Effleurage. So the next time I come up the back, I'm going to put my right hand over my left, and I'm going to do a figure of 8 effleurage around the shoulders. So we're going over the far shoulder, back under the scapula, over the near shoulder, and around. So can you see that this is a nice figure of 8? It's a little bit deeper, and with the effleurage we want to try and create a little bit of rosy redness on the skin, which is called erythema, and that shows that we are bringing the blood flow into the cells and the tissues underneath our hands. The redder it goes, the more erythema you've got. Erythema is a temporary redness in the tissues to show that we've got a rush of blood and nutrients into those cells. So we're going to do a little bit firmer, as I said, and deeper effleurage around the shoulders. And then I'm going to reverse it. And as I reverse it, I'm going to pull back on the shoulders, on the trapezius. Quite a nice firm pull back, but not a jerk. Nice and smooth and flowing. Keeping contact all the time, not taking my hand off in between, so everything flows together. So pulling back, just reversing. If you're left-handed, you'd always put your left hand on the top. If you're right-handed, your right hand is on the top. The underneath hand is nice and relaxed. It's the top hand that you're leading with. So we're going to do a nice figure of 8 effleurage around the shoulders. If I wanted to use effleurage as a link, I might do a circular link down the far side of the body. So that's a circular link. If I wanted to go from the shoulders to the hip, that's how I would do it, keeping a nice flowing move. If I wanted to go the other way and go from the hip to the shoulder, I could even use this circular effleurage coming back up to the shoulder and back into my figure of 8. Or I could use my circular effleurage to come down the back to bring me into the two-handed effleurage that I started with. So again, the whole onus of this movement is to push the circulation back towards the heart to help to drain the lymphatic system and any toxins and waste products from the tissues. It stimulates erythema if you work in one area, which is a temporary redness to the skin. It also helps to desquamate the skin. So that is taking off of dead skin, and it's called desquamation. So we're finishing with a nice, steady, flowing effleurage that we started with. So again, fingers and thumbs tightly tucked in, whole of the hand in touch with the body, moulding to the contours, giving a sense of relaxation and well-being. Covering the whole area, so right up over the shoulders and down the sides and coming in. Starting and finishing with effleurage. It's slow, consistent, with a nice ripple running in front of your fingers. And at the end of your back massage, you bring your hands together, just flick it away. Untuck your towel and cover up the back. And then you'd move on to another area.